said, my name is Sheridan. I'm the education specialist here at AutogenAI. I'm also joined with my colleague, Mike, who's just in the background. He will be monitoring the chat. So if you do have any questions as I'm going through anything, please feel free to pop them in the chat and Mike will be able to assist you. Alternatively, we will also be doing a Q&A at the end as well. So if you prefer, you can reserve your questions till the end. So for those who are not super familiar about AutogenAI, we're effectively a bid writing tool using generative AI to support those bid writers or proposal writers in their day-to-day writing. And the whole tool is designed to support writers right from the prepare stage all the way to the review stage. And we have loads of different functionalities to do so. The essence is to effectively help bid writers or bid professionals get to that first draft really easily, quickly, and make that a very quality first draft. I'd say 7 out of 10. And what we would like then to happen is that you actually use what you yourself as writers are really great at and bring in that 7 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 bid response using all of our functionality. Here at AutogenAI, we also like to refer to this as augmented intelligence rather than artificial intelligence, because we do believe the core power behind AI is humans, and we should be using AI as a tool to make us better, and it's not here to replace humans. If you've ever used AI or any generative AI in the past, you will know that without human input, you might not get the best results out of it. So we always need humans, at every intervention to make AI great. So on my screen is a quick look at our tool itself. As you can see, we have a place to write, loads of functionalities going around, and we continually update our platform to stay on top of any new advancement in this space. And that being said, it does lend itself to this academy. So the whole academy is about just help with that whole learning exercise and bringing our users up to speed. So what is an LMS? So it's basically a learning management system, software designed to upload all different contents, manage and distribute training and educational content. It's customizable, meaning we design the look and feel and experience. And shortly I will show you our academy and how we design that to be very simplistic and easy to navigate for all different types of users. As you may be aware, obviously training can take many different forms. When you're actually on board as a customer with AutogenAI, you do get a training program that we bring our users across. And there's about four to five different modules depending on the type of roles of the users. And you have all this training access either through live sessions in the office space, or we do this remotely as well. And the whole academy is brought about to basically be able to be a second part of that, to actually help bridge that gap of the training and enable you even further. So anything that you may learn from the session, you want to deep dive into that, the LMS Academy, our academy is there to support that learning and self-paced learning. So any elements we touch on, Academy is here to complement that, and it will always have different techniques being shown. So there's multiple ways for all different types of learners. So a bit about our academy. So this is a new academy we've set up, and as I mentioned before, it will host training and educational content for all of our Autogen users. Recently launched this with our main training course at the moment being our bid writing fundamentals. And if you're a current user, it's quite similar to the type of training you would have experienced when you've been onboarded. And basically this is the second part of that. And it's also really great if you've already gone through that training to sometimes recap on certain parts, but the main part around our fundamentals training on our academy is that it is CPD accredited. So if you do complete the training and then you finish off with a quiz at the end, and it's not a entirely difficult quiz, it's just there to test your learning and make sure that everything has actually been absorbed and you understand your way around the platform and around AI. And then you'll be able to gain access to your CPD qualification. There's other things you will find on the Academy, such as how-to guides, different video tutorials, different workflows of how to utilize our tool for different parts of your bid writing phase. We also have access to our prompting guide. So if you've ever used generative AI, you will be quite aware of how difficult it can be to craft prompts and great prompts. And we do have guides that help spark that creativity. A huge part also around using AutogenAI is that we actually harness the power of your document library from your organization. And you basically upload the content as training data for the AI to understand and digest. So when you are generating different outcomes, it's all coming from the knowledge that you've embedded into our platform. So that's really valuable information. And to get the best out of that, you need to have a well managed document library. So we have a guidance for that as well. And as you would imagine, different FAQs, so you're always aware of the different type of questions and solutions that are available at your fingertips. So I'm just going to quickly dive into the Academy itself so we can have a nice tour around and have a look at what it actually looks like. So as I mentioned, this is the first page you will see once you've logged into the Academy. And it does have this learner journey right here at the top. As I mentioned, the first set of training will be your fundamentals course. So once you've completed that, the next phase of that would be advanced. And then eventually we would like to go to a champion level learner. On the main page as well, you can see Art of the Possible, which is actually our first module within the training itself. And this video is just a nice way to introduce you to what, as it suggests, what is possible with not only generative AI, but generative AI with AutogenAI, and give you a good understanding of how to actually utilize the tool to build bid responses, to storyboard, to research, to do anything that you typically do when you're preparing or writing a bid response. If I scroll further down, we have, like I mentioned, different sections of where we would keep updated quite regularly. So different FAQs and guides, our video library. So these are just around different things that you might like to do when writing, from translation to using inputs, which is our way of incorporating key messages within text, tailoring text to be bid specific, the types of AI you might be working with, and the basics of promptings and ways to get started, and many more different content available there. So different types of content for different learners, whether that's more visual learners, or if it's people who just prefer to go through different guides. And here at Autogen, we actually really do a lot of product updates. Our platform is always evolving. New features are coming out quite frequently, and we're always trying to stay on the cutting edge of anything that's come out new in this space, and making sure that we're all over it and we've got it optimized for the best outcome for our users. So we'll also stay on top of these updates. We've built in these guides. We've also got our team at hand to walk through any of these updates with the users. But in the bid writing world, we don't always have the privilege of working our strict hours. You may have to work outside of hours. And in those cases where you can't have access to any of the team, you always can just do the self-paced learning and just keep up to date whenever something new does come out. So that's where you also find all these product updates. So now I just want to touch back on the fundamentals and what that might actually look like for different users. So I'll just open up one of the sessions here on the fundamentals course. So it's a mixture of both written guides and audio guides with a narration. For the sake of this, I'm not going to go through the narration, but as you can see here, this is one of our sessions around actually how you start building from a fairly generic text to start building out your bid response, and how to use an opening line and expand that further. So quite simply, we will have our different steps here. And the Academy will basically just walk you through this nice workflow so you understand exactly what you need to do to achieve the results you're looking for. And in our live sessions, this is all taught as well, but sometimes you may forget a step or two. And this is why the Academy is really great, because now you can revise a session really quickly, see the different screenshots, so you have that nice visual understanding of where to actually look, and then be able to apply that knowledge straight away. And then throughout the sessions, any live sessions, you may continually hear us kind of repeating different learnings to make sure it really sticks, these tips. So we've got top tips here, and it's really useful because in the prompting world, you really need to be really specific in order to make sure that you get the best out of AI. So sometimes users may forget certain context to include within their prompts or writing, and they may get results that are not quite tailored to what they were looking for. But it's generally because they may have forgotten a few of these great tips. For example, maybe using internal jargon and expecting the AI to understand internal jargon from their businesses, which needs to be explained a bit more or context to be provided. So throughout the whole sessions, we're always repeating different tips and different considerations to make sure you understand how you should be communicating with AI to generate results. And once you go through all of these different sessions, at the end, you will be presented with that quiz, that knowledge, test your knowledge to make sure that you are aware of how everything works and how AI works to get your expected result. And here's just a quick look at the certificate that you would receive once you complete our fundamentals course. So as you can see here, nice certificate with the date and the CPD accreditation there as well. So I spoke about the different modules that we have on offer during the fundamentals. I just want to give you a nice overview and summary of what these actually include. So the first one I mentioned was Art of the Possible. And as it suggests, it's going to give you that whole feasibility of how to actually use the platform, what it can do, what to expect going in. But most of all, what it's also going to teach you is AI literacy, giving you that underlying knowledge and logic to be able to start actually building upon that information. We'll also look at the different pain points that you may experience during the writing, preparing, review stage as a bid writer, just that general work. And in the Art of the Possible, you'll start to see how the tool itself will align itself to each of these problems to make them a lot easier. A lot of the problem, one of the main problems that people generally do speak about is word count, and which we solve really easily from the right functionalities. And there's so much more different functionalities there that can just make a really boring, laborious task really quick and easy to do. And then we move on to generating great ideas. And this is all about how to create great prompts and how to generate great ideas when also trying to do storyboarding and trying to work out your approaches to different responses. And it's all about understanding the context needs to be given to AI to get the best output, having a look at prompts with poor context versus prompts with great context, and guiding you through building that out to making sure that you're always getting your tailored output. And then the third module will be looking at incorporating key messages, which is overall about dissecting that bid specification, compiling your win themes, and getting those important messages incorporated within your text and making sure you're always matching the tone of your commissioner and that whole tone is being weaved throughout the text. And then once you learn all the different elements, and that does include more prompting as well, we do go into building a bid response, where you basically take all your learnings throughout the different sessions, understanding of different functionalities, and we start looking at different bid responses and how to actually apply different workflows using the tool to approach different questions. So that being said, how will this help the general user? So previously, before we launched our academy, you had to book in sessions with one of our team, whether that be an onboarding specialist, a user coach, or customer success manager, to basically get up to speed for workshops, one-to-one training. They are still available, but as we are all aware, there's different types of learners, and the working day does get really busy, and you may not always have time to set some time aside to schedule these meetings. So this allows this on-demand learning where you can revise them at any time and learn at your own pace. And we also want to sharpen your skills and just unlock new ways of using AutogenAI, and the whole important part of using a tool like this is that you want to find the way that works for you. There is tons of functionality to make loads of different tasks efficient, but every writer works in a different way. And this is just sharing different nuggets of knowledge or creativity so you can actually apply it to your own work and find a new style of working that works best for you. And then with the fundamentals course, of course, you're going to learn all the basics and understanding how to generate bid responses, which is the most important part. But then the library also gives you that short collection of how-to videos, different workflow videos, just a spark of inspiration of how combining two different elements can get great results. So what's next and what's our plans for the future on the Academy? So we want to continue to build upon the content first and foremost on there. As you've seen, we do have our fundamentals. The next stage is to have the advanced session. If you are a customer right now, this advanced session is being offered to any of our users. But now soon we'll have this available on the Academy itself, so you can take those advanced sessions and just take them at your own pace. Some of those topics will include conducting research, a deep in-depth look on how to use one of our most used functionality called Expand. Expand is a really great functionality. It is so powerful and it can be used in so many different ways. And until you really understand logic of how to really prompt with AI and command with AI, especially paired with your document library, Expand becomes such a powerful, even more powerful tool. So it's all about deep diving how to different ways that can be utilized. And then another session is utilizing your previous bid responses, upgrading those modeled answers to match the tone or the new purpose that it needs to address. So a lot of the time, you'll be responding to questions that you may have responded to many different times, be worded slightly differently for a different commissioner or a different governing body. And it's all about just quickly repurposing text. And then we also have using creating storyboards with the tool as well. But there's other different sessions, and we've also gone beyond bid writing as well. Even though our tool is aimed at bid writers, it's really powerful for all types of writers. And what we often see is that you may get people in the reporting world or in the marketing world who also can leverage this tool. So a lot of the advanced sessions are tailored to other use cases as well. Alongside that, myself and Mike and the education team were constantly developing new content, whether that's new training material, new video content, new guides. And what we're looking to do moving forward is even bring some thought leadership pieces. Meet the Experts is effectively the short series where we will have our experts within the companies, maybe our product managers, our prompt engineers, head of research and development, basically the brains that make this whole system work, and have that deep dive, not a discussion, but nice video of them describing and going into the depths of how they work and the types of technologies they're working with and how they apply it to AutogenAI, and just to give the user a great understanding back to that AI literacy piece I mentioned of how AI works and the best ways of actually using AI and understanding the capabilities of AI, where it can go next, where you see yourself fitting in working with AI, just giving every user that knowledge so you always feel that you're in the know with this technology. And then finally, we're going to move on to accreditation with our advanced training sessions. So you then will be able to be advanced at that next stage. And then from there, we'll keep building out content. So to access our Academy is really simple. If you're already a user, you should all receive an email, a welcome email, where you'll be prompted to create your username and password. But once you're in there, what you will see within your system, if you click the top right question mark button, you will see the Academy as a top resource. So straight from the system, you can just click into the Academy and you'll be able to access the Academy straight away.